Okay, everyone, welcome to the Give Africa Initiative Instagram Live event. My name is Augustina, your host for today. However, I am the project lead for the Give Africa Initiative. The Give Africa Initiative is a sub-organization of the KSH Foundation. It is an arm through which we support charitable causes that aims to improve the lives of vulnerable communities by providing them access to basic necessities like water. Now, the Give Africa Initiative has 3 projects: the Build a Well, Light Up, and Plant a Tree. For our first project, Push, we have successfully provided 9 wells and 5 boreholes to communities in the northern Nigeria, helping them gain access to clean water. Our next big activity is our luncheon, which is happening on the 31st of October. But before we get there, let's retrace our steps and see the wonderful people around me. Now, I believe for you to tangibly see just how important water is and how problematic the lack of water is to communities that lack them, we need to touch base with how much water empowers us as individuals and as well as aid societal development and economic growth. So today I have here with me a couple of interesting personas who are in the creative and social space, and they're doing amazing stuff, and they'll be sharing with us just how much water plays a factor in their career and personal development. So do me the honors of introducing yourselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Lawrence Ochwa, and I live here in Abuja. I am a fashion, beauty and lifestyle content creator, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Dean. I'm a videographer and a content creator. I also live here in Abuja, and I'm very much pleased to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Hi everyone, my name is Angel. I'm Angel Agbo. I am a content creator. I live in Abuja. I am a beauty content creator, but mostly about natural hair. Don't mind the wig. My hair is fine. Thank you very much for having me.
You are welcome. So as I said, for us to realize just how important water is, I want us to touch base with how water is important to us, and I want us to think back on our childhood or our background. Can you recall a moment where you realize just how important access to clean water is? Maybe a situation or a situation where the presence or the absence stood out for you. We could just roll around ourselves. Who's gonna go first?
I think Dean is ready.
Okay.
For me, it's actually kind of very personal to me because my dad is a professor of microbiology. So growing up with him was somewhat of a talk of war. He was very particular about the kind of water that we took in. And I was kind of stubborn, so I didn't listen. I didn't actually listen. I used to move around with area boys. So I had a complication. I had dysentery, very serious chronic dysentery, and it really affected me when I was 14, 15, 16. So I think that's actually made my mind to open to the importance of water, and I was very particular and invested in kind of what I took in right from that time. So that was a child experience I've had.
Amazing. I think for me, growing up, nobody really cared about water, the amount of water you take in or the kind of water you take in. We're just there. So it was growing up, I realized that my eyes were more yellow than they should be. So I realized that, okay, you need water. From school, this is very sad to say, but when I was in the university, that's when I realized it. And okay, I like to talk about my hair a lot. So, and growing up, we always talk about how you should avoid water, don't let water touch your hair. And I realized that your hair literally needs water. That's why a lot of us were bald-headed when we were younger. Sure. So now I'm oh, we actually need water. Water is amazing for us. So, that's it for me.
Yeah.
For me, it was back then in university. I would fall ill literally every semester. I would have typhoid, and I did not realize the kind of water I was drinking was poisoning my system. And then I started investing in bottled water, which is cleaner water, and I started to feel better and look after myself and take care of my health. So yeah,
I think that's very important. I think looking back, it can seem very, very basic when we talk about it like this, but think about how much these people who lack access to water, they're not even able to realize that even if they do realize that is the water that is causing all these problems, there's really nothing they can do about it. Because they have very limited water, and so I think it's a good start. So now to your career path, how do you think water plays a role in enabling your growth?
For me, water is life. Literally, without water, can you even be alive? It's literally life. And like I said, I like talking about my hair a lot. So let's talk about it again. one thing that people don't know is that the amount of water you take is essential for how your hair grows, the kind of hair strands that your scalp is able to grow out.
Oh, wow.
Because water, I just read recently that water helps to stimulate blood flow, and that's what helps to grow hair. That's why a lot of times in hair growth oils and all of that, they have ingredients that would stimulate your scalp. This is something that water can do easily if you take enough. Yeah. So for me, I had to get like a big, one of those big water bottles, because like it was kind of hard. It's hard. Taking water is hard, you guys. It's hard. But I had to take that, and it's always on my bedside because I'm always at home. Always on my bedside, or whenever I go out, I have like this really big bottle water, like table water, the big one. And for hair as well, people don't understand that the kind of water that you use to wash your hair also affects it. There's so many times there's this thing they call hard water. It's terrible for your hair. A lot of time you are using all the best products, the most expensive, the cheapest, the biggest, and the smallest DIYs, but your hair is not doing well. Most of the time, check back what water are you using on your hair. It's weighing down your hair. Some of the minerals are really, really harmful to your scalp, just like with your skin. You can't use just dirty water on your face, right? So it's the same thing with your hair. And a lot of people don't know this, but it's essential. It's crazy. It's important.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dean,
She
how does that
has
play a role
actually,
in your area boys and girls situation?
she has said everything, but mine still comes down to disease, because I feel like people are not really they're not really aware of the importance of water. They're not very, what's the word, like they don't take it really serious. Do you understand? And like as a lifestyle content creator, I feel like regardless of wherever you are, whether you live in urban or a rural area, like I feel like water is taking clean water is very, very important. It's crucial to your health. It's crucial to your well-being. So it just comes out like to the fact that people need to do better in creating awareness on clean water, and that's basically what we're doing right here now. So that's it for me.
Makes sense.
Okay, for me, this is very personal because after I finished school and I moved to Lagos, I would have bad skin reaction. Like my palms, my feet were literally peeling from hard water. And then I moved to Abuja and I see that my skin starts doing better, and I realized that, oh my God, there's actually clean water here, and the difference is so obvious. So I feel, the awareness for clean water, not just water, clean water is very important, because aside your skin, drinking clean water is important. It purifies your body and all of that. So yeah.
Let me just add this. I went to Lagos 2 months ago, I think, and when I went to Lagos, that's when I realized that people are actually suffering in Lagos. I don't have clean water in Lagos. I was it was a shock for me. Like people are actually like, I was in a hotel and they were telling me that no, the water is not clean. No, they need to go and boil it. I say, Wow. For 60k per night, I need to go and boil water. Okay. Yeah. So what she said is actually very crucial. I think you need to like do more better, because I didn't know. Like I wasn't aware. You have to be there. You have to go there to actually know that they're suffering.
Experience it.
Makes all the sense in the world. So my next question is about what a limitation with water, and it doesn't have to be for you, it could have been for someone else, that you have seen lacked access to water and what that has meant for that person. But I'll start first. So I grew up in Lagos as well, in a very boisterous environment. However, there are like specific places we go to for specific needs for water. Yeah, so there's those would go to. I mean, we are now in the era where you can afford to get sachet water or even afford to get bottled water. Back in the day, you don't exactly do that. You need to be able to have access to water that is drinkable. And sometimes this is what we even define to as clean water, because as much as we can afford to manage other waters, just because you cannot manage any other water when you have to take it in. And so it was so difficult having to move, because where you would get this drinkable water is quite a distance, and you'd have to and again I said it, we live in a very boisterous environment, and so getting to that place is such a tax. And because of it's such a major area, there was a lot of accident around the area, and so you just realize just how critical it is and people literally, that was the place you go to get drinking water. And so a lot of people don't go there to get water. They only go there when they need to get drinking water, because it's pretty far. We have other areas where you could get water from, but those water you could just use it to cook. Sometimes you couldn't run away from using it to cook because of it can just really get bad. And so to get water, you'd have to go really far. And I know how many minor accident I got into, just getting water, and it made me realize that if I am struggling and I am living in a major city, right? So think about others who are living in this major city and they are still struggling, and I think about lack of water as to how it can play a factor in it streamlines into everything that you can do. I mean,
True.
My parents would always tell me back in the day that while they were kids, they would have to like wake up pretty early to get water so that they could go to school. Now, on days when they don't get enough water, they don't go to school.
Wow.
Yeah, because the water that you potentially already fetched will be used for other things. And then they cannot afford to make you now bathe and go to school, use the water, go to school, and they now lack water. So you're just going to have to stay back. And I think about potentially people in these communities as well and what that means for them, because it would mean that if even getting water is quite a distance, the day that you mistakenly don't get up on time, the day that there could even be water, but because of so many people are even getting water from that area, the water starts to not do well. Things start to go wrong. It's either the water is not enough, or the dirt is coming back up, and you can see the water, you can see the dirt in when you take water. So there's just a lot of all of these things. I think about, for me, it's very personal, because I used to struggle with it a lot, and so I understand just how important access to these things is to people. And so, do you have any experience of that? It could be somebody else. It doesn't have to be you.
Yeah, I do have a similar experience growing up. We did not really have access to clean water. I mean, the water wasn't regular. The water that would come through the tap, it was something that we could drink. It was clean enough, but it wasn't regular. So there are times where we'll have to wake up sometimes 4:30, 5 to go and queue by the well to get water. And sometimes the well would dry up.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the morning when you come, people have put in their bowls and all of that, and it's messed up with the water. So you have to wait for the water to settle down before you get water. And as kids, you don't want to be doing that. You want to sleep, wake up by 7, have your bath and go to school.
Yeah.
But you have to wake up and do that. And for me, moving away from that environment, I just realized that life could be so much more easier when you have access to things like clean water.
Yeah, I love that.
Me, I didn't actually like experience it until recently when I went for NYC camp, because as I said earlier, my dad's a professor in microbiology, so he was very particular about water. We've never had any issue with water. It was any house that we live in, he makes sure that water is priority there.
Yeah.
So I never had any issue with water. But when I went for NYC camp, Kuba camp to be precise, what my eyes saw.
I swear.
See,
I agree.
I was not having my that was the day I had no bath. Like, it was bad, and to the extent that the water that was being produced, I don't know if maybe it was around that period, but like the water that I was drinking in that camp was not clean water. It was packaged, it was sachet water, but it wasn't clean water. It affected me after camp. So I don't know if I'm not trying to backlash anybody, but I'm just saying during that period, during that 3 weeks, when I left that camp, I was not feeling okay. I struggled, really struggled with water, because like I had so many complications in my tummy, and so I'm not trying to backslide. Sorry, I'm just saying that during that period I had that kind of issue.
I understand,
and that was the first time. That was the first time it was happening to me.
And it's not an Abuja. It's not an Abuja thing, actually.
Yeah.
No,
my
it's
brother
not.
went to NYC in Lagos.
Okay, that means in January.
And when he came back, he was really sick.
Yes.
I think it's the water, because I had the same
was
experience
really
in
sick.
Makurdi. I had to live like 3 days into camp. I was really sick.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even handle me in the hospital. They had to let me go. It was that bad. Yeah.
So I don't think it's even
felt sick, but I thought it was just the stress.
I think it was the water.
Everybody.
Yeah, it was the water.
It's making
It
sense.
was the
I knew
water.
it was the water.
Oh, yeah,
I knew it was
Because
the
I
water.
feel people would buy it anyways.
Exactly.
So
You
even
don't have
if
a
it was
choice.
fake,
Yes.
you would still buy it.
And
Yeah.
I saw one video online. I don't know if this is like real, because a lot of things are fake online. But I saw some people selling sachet water, and they were washing it in this very dirty river. I don't know if it's a river, but it's a still water anyway, not a river. And they were washing the water, the sachet water. Some people even left them there to let it get cold, because they did not have access to ice block or something. And they sold that water to people. So you can imagine, even if the water itself is not
Same.
bad, you
Yeah.
can imagine
Sachet, surface.
exactly.
Yeah.
No matter how you wipe it,
Yeah.
it's there. It's
Yeah.
there. So that's probably
crazy.
part of the issue.
Exactly. The packaging and everything else, they don't really pay attention to these things. So, I mean, it can be other things outside of just water, because the environment in itself is not exactly the most conducive when you think about
Yes,
it. I
yes.
mean, the area is just really pretty shitty, and it can but water is also a significant factor because it's not even just in the bathing water, it's also in the water they are selling. And so sometimes I'm very attentive to, because I mean there'll be multiple brands, and I'm always I try to watch it. If I take this one and I'm not feeling it, I'm going to try the next one, because they just be producing terrible things.
And then also, I visited my village not too long ago. That was like the first time ever. And I noticed something. They did not have water at all. My dad tried his best to get what they call borehole, right? He tried, he invested a lot of money, but he couldn't get water. So we had to like use pure water to bath and bottle water. Wow. But still, it was bad. So I think what you guys are saying is making sense. It could be like the water they are putting in is not clean.
It could even be the contamination. Excuse me, sorry. No problem. It could even be the contamination from the containers. Mouths coming in contact with the containers and all of that.
Exactly. And these brands were not like popular brands, because my village is deep down inside Nasarawa State. So most of these popular brands are not there. So you don't even know where they're from. You just have to take water because you would die of dehydration if you don't. So you just have to. So we couldn't stay there for long. We had to run away.
I understand, because also in my village we don't exactly have water. You can't like dig boreholes. It's usually all this water board thingy that happens, and I know how hard, again, it's even quite the distance also getting the water, but still the water is not even drinkable. And so for you to get drinkable water, two things: either you get sachet water, or you go to this really far place that has clean water. And it was such a tedious thing. I feel like that's one of the reasons why we don't even travel a lot, because like you can't just be going there and struggling when you can just stay where you are. And
even for me, sorry, excuse me, it seems like I love traveling. I enjoy traveling, but like sometimes I just think about whenever I change water, like it affects my skin. Like I start like when I'm not showering, like when I've showered, I start feeling itch on my body. Like every single time I change
an environment.
That's how you
get
water.
That too.
So I don't know if it's like a me thing. Like I've never had the conversation with anybody, but I just noticed it. Anytime I change, like when I went to Lagos, throughout, I stayed for like 4 or 5 days. Throughout the time, my body was itching. So like, I knew it was the water because I changed water, but like I didn't know the water was still bad, and they were still boiling it too. It was still bad.
I think when you have a sensitive skin, it really doesn't matter. When there's a change, your body can tell. So when you move to a new environment, it's not just even just the water; it's the environment in general, and your body's reacting to that. Your body's just letting you know that, oh, we're in a new space. This is something I'm not comfortable with. And maybe if it's not exactly a terrible thing, then your body bounces right back and you're good.
And
true. I think for you, because your dad was very, very specific, the kind of water you
exactly.
guys have. So you have always been used to taking like really good water, very clean water.
So
the tiniest, the water area, the tiniest contamination water will make your skin to react. I think it's normal for you. Like it makes sense
because I'm already used to that kind of like taking clean water. I get what you mean.
Yeah, so. I love this conversation. Thank you so much for being very engaging guest. And so reflecting on our conversation, so what do you think from a personal level? How do you think you can be I won't say like a source of provision for clean water, but like what do you think that you can do to be like a part of this journey to ensuring that these vulnerable communities can get access to clean water?
I think, when they say change begins with you, very easy. Some of us who are brushing our teeth, our tap is on throughout. It's a problem. Even some people, I've seen a couple of videos, them lifestyle girlies like my friend here, they will turn on the tap throughout the video, and I'm wondering, I know for a fact that video was not 1 minute. It took you like an hour.
5 minutes.
Thank you to get, and it's like, it's a problem. You're reducing come on, it's a problem. I don't even not go too deep into it, but I feel like we can all, make a difference in the simple way that we can. Just try. Water is very important, and the fact that you have access to it doesn't mean you should waste it. You should be very, very attentive with the amount of water that you have, that you use. It's very, very important. If it's not necessary, please learn to turn off your tap. I mean, they taught us these things in primary school. A lot of us are like, oh, I'm grown now. But all these things are for us now. Like, as you've grown up, you're supposed to practice these things. But a lot of us are like, So please, when we're having our bath, some people, you have already washed off the soap. Please leave the water now. So we pour it and continue to pour it. So I think these are the little things that we can do to help.
Just taking points from what she said, I'm guilty of like leaving my tap and my shower on.
Lifestyle
so,
girlies.
Creating awareness. We're content creators. We all have communities. I believe we have people that listen to us. So obviously creating, awareness on social media and just telling people the importance of clean water, not just water. because people think water is water, and everybody will just say, oh, water is life. But the importance of clean water for drinking, you know, your daily activities and all of that. So yeah, creating awareness, I think, is very, very important.
I love that.
For me, I know in Nigeria, the concept of freedom of speech is, let's tell ourselves the truth, like a facade. Like we don't really have like complete freedom of speech. So I just want to say this: we need to learn how to call out brands who sell rubbish water.
True.
Like we shouldn't be
True.
scared. If you drink water and it's bad, post it and say, "Hey, your water is bad." Do you know why? Because you are going to be saving another person.
Yes.
Do you understand? Like, okay, for me, for the experience I had when I was 14 with the dysentery, like I was taking, it was still a pure water, like it was sachet water, true, but like it was, I wasn't very particular about the brand. I was drinking any brand, and my dad was telling me, no, don't buy from this one, don't use this one, but I didn't care because I was like a child that time. I wasn't listening. So I think we need to learn how to call out brands that sell trash water. Like we need to be able to be vocal. Like let's try as much as possible not to be scared. I'm talking to myself too.
I think that's really good. For us at the foundation, the ways that we support, because we're very particular about vulnerable communities. So the way that we support is by, doing things like this, making people aware and making people be a part of our journey to contributing to ensuring that these vulnerable communities have access to clean water. And as I said, our first project push was us providing 9 wells and 5 boreholes to vulnerable communities in the northern Nigeria. And we hope to be able to do more things like this. And we're trying to use this. This is our first push for our next phase of carrying on with providing water for these people. And so this is a build up to our luncheon, which is happening on the 31st of October. And so if you had a great conversation here, you should join us and you should support our causes. You can check out our website. It's up on our bio, KSH Foundation, KSH Africa, and Give Africa as well. You can check back to see the ways that you can support us, or you can just call the numbers you always see on the flyers. It's my number. Call me and tell me ways that you can contribute to our movement. But yeah, as I said, our next activity is on 31st of October. There's a registration as well, which is up on the bio as well. You can register so that you can be a part of it. It's virtual. You don't have to come anywhere. You can just listen in on the conversation. We'll be having experts in the wash industry who's doing stuff around water sanitization and all of that. Talk to us about ways that we can be more careful around clean water and just water in general. And so yeah, but then again, there's so many activities happening prior to then, so please be on the lookout for the KSH Africa's page and our wonderful people here page. So please tell them where they can find you.
Okay, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Angel Agbo.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Dean Star, Triple E.
Wow. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's Ochwa.
Okay. Or you can find me at KSH Africa. So yeah, as I said, there'll be activities prior to the luncheon in itself. You should really pay attention. They will be the one pushing this activity, so please stay glued to their pages, follow them so you can be aware and stand a chance to be a part of this activity that we are doing. Thank you so much, everybody. Before I go, the last thing I want to say is that this episode, I know that a lot of you struggle with hearing us, but this episode will be recorded and put up live for you to consume for future consumption. There you can be able to hear us properly. I'm so sorry that you weren't able to do all of that, but yeah, it's already being recorded, proper recording, and you can have access to it for future consumption. So yes, if you had fun listening to us, you should be able to share to other people who just might enjoy listening to us as well. So thank you so much, and yes, happy Eid Malud, and bye bye from me.
Bye from us.
Bye.
Thank you so much.